YouTube? It's your boy, the Memphis XLR Altar, and welcome all of you to an episode of Check This Out, the show we check and look at whatever deck we want to look at, and we have ourselves a good old time. Today, everybody, we're taking a look at what I like to call a Kuriboh Fisher deck. It's mostly Legendary Fisherman. Not gonna lie, the idea is to bring out the Legendary Fisherman, go up to level 2, go up to level 3, and do some damage with some nice fishy action. But we also have some Kuribohs on the side here. A little bit of the mix of the boy. Kuriboh is here to keep our monsters on the board. And I got after Kuriboh to get me some Xyz monsters on the board. So, we're going to go into EDO Pro today and show this deck off in all of its glory. We're going to be sending out some fish and slapping our opponent with them, Rolf style, and have a good time. So, real quick, we're going to go over the deck list and then get right into those duels that I know you'll like to see. So for our main deck today, we have one copy of Big Old Fish Terror King Salmon, one copy of the Mega Fortress Whale, 2 copies of Legendary Fisherman number 3, 3 copies of Legendary Fisherman number 2, we got 3 copies of the Kyriushin Ocean Dragon Lord, 2 copies of the OG Legendary Fisherman, 3 copies Warrior of Atlantis, 3 copies of this Jellyfish thing, 1 copy of Doom Kraken, 2 copies of Kuriboh, 1 Astro Kuriboh, 3 copies of Fish Sonar, the rank up magic 7th one, 2 copies of Ready Fusion, 2 copies of Fury of Kyriushin, 2 copies of the Rage of Kyriushin, 1 copy of Sea Stealth number 2, 3 copies of Legendary Ocean, couple Torrentials, and a couple Sea Stealth attack. As for the X deck, we have Thraug, we have Stealth Kraken, we have 101 Silent Honor Art, the Bogusk, 1 Ragnar Zero, 1 copy of a Hammett Shark, 1 copy of Nash Knight, 1 Chaos 101 Silent Honor Dark, 1 AA Zeus, we have White Aura Whale, we have Automancipator Dragite, 1 Ravenous Croaked Dragon Archithus, 1 Rare Fish, and 2 Sea Monster of Theseus. As an side deck, if you want to be cheeky about it, just put Kyriushin in here over the Terror King Salmon, because we have all these Kyriushin cards anyway. The reason I'm not is because this is bigger, and it's also a fish, and it synergizes with more of our stuff than the Sea Serpent. Also, this, again, is bigger. The other things like Citadel Whale, which is protect your monsters from targeting, it's not that great, but it's something you can do. There's other synchros you can make, like White Aura Bahamut, and Ice Jade Grimir, and good old Trishula, things like that, depends on the levels. Our levels change, so it's a little iffy sometimes what levels you're going to have, so I just stick with a small package and it'll work just fine. We have things like Chaos Disease Nash Knight that you can use by, bringing out with the Nash, but that leads to a whole nother different combo, and so we're just going to leave that on the shelf for right now. Abyss Keeper is just a Link monster, but I really don't need Link monsters in this deck too much. Plus, we're playing like things that aren't fish, so that's a different thing entirely. Terraforming, we have 3 copies of Terraforming. We don't need another one. And Sea Stealth Attack, if you want a 3rd one, is fine, but we can search this thing well enough. 2 is enough. So, all that said and done, people, let's go out in EDO Pro, show this deck off, show you how it works, and we'll have ourselves a good time. Alright, here, first opponent, another day, another card game. We like to go first with this deck, although we can fully well go second with this deck. It's one of those decks that can do either or, depending on the hand. Let's see here. Okay. It's an interesting hand. Let's go ahead and start by baiting out Ash Blossoms. Okay, no Ash Blossoms detected. Good. Don't want to see that Ash Blossom. And let me think about this. If I add the fish, I get the fish. Yeah, no. We're going to add to it the Legendary Ocean. This reduces my monster's level, so I can just summon them right now. But right now, first, we're going to go for Fish Sonar. We're going to get ourselves a monster. Let's see here. Let me think. Who do I want, actually? I've got Kyriushin. I kind of want the Fisherman, but I also kind of want the Electric Jellyfish. I'm going to get the Electric Jellyfish. He's better in this situation. He's a really cool dude. I can ditch Umi from wherever I want and bring out more fish from the hand. And so that's exactly what we're going to do. Summon out Electric Jellyfish. Really cool dude. I can just ditch the Legendary Ocean in our deck. We don't need it right now. And summon Kyriushin. And then we'll have 2 level 4. So now what I can do is Kyriushin. I can add any card that has Umi or Kyriushin in its name. And I usually start with Fury. for multiple reasons. One, it gets me torrential. Two, it protects my monsters from field nukes. I can banish it instead. It's all good in the hood. So now all I need to do is draw into a legendary Fisherman and I'll be fine. For now, though, I could go for that stupid frog, but I don't like that stupid frog. He's more of a last-ditch effort sort of guy. So we're going to summon out Stealth Dragon. Because that lets me pop stuff. Turns everything into water monsters. It's pretty neat. Plus I got Jellyfish. He can negate spell traps. Like that thing. Do I negate that thing? I probably should. Nah. You know what? Let's let him have a thing. Compulse. Blah, blah, blah. What is this? Traptrix? Okay, it's Traptrix going second. I mean, I have a monster negate. So, you know, I can negate Traptrix Mantis and, like... Let's see... Or just even better, I can blow it up. I'm gonna just blow it up. That way he gets nothing. Unless he has Shade Brigandine. Or that. He has that too. Negate that effect. Well, I can negate Vesiculo. Okay. Alright, so my opponent is trying to set up Traptrix. I know how strong Traptrix be. The Memphis played them the other day, and so I know that they are a very nasty bunch. If they can set up, that is. I mean, he does have Compulse. That's probably the more annoying thing is he's got Compulse. Let me think about this. I wish I had another Fisherman, but I don't. So... let's just summon another Jellyfish. Do lots of damage. Nope, I don't want to torrential myself. Tempting. Very tempting. If I was into getting spanked right now, I would. But no. Instead, we're just going to attack our opponent with everything we got. I mean, I got Stealth Dragon, a couple Jellyfish. Ice Dragon's Prison. You whore. Alright. Well, that's one way to get rid of a Stealth Dragon. Alright. Gotta respect that, I suppose. And I'll get compulsed as well. Using up a lot of your stuff. Alright, if that's what you want to do. I mean, that Shade Brigandine, if you top deck it, you're not going to be able to play it this turn. Just saying. Alright, so... yeah, I better save this last... I better save the Legendary Ocean. I could do more. I could probably make Toad, but I really don't want to, you know? Because I'm in a good mood. You know why, folks? It's because my new show is finally getting produced. That's right. I'm finishing up the editing now. New show is produced. It's coming out tomorrow. I gotta finish the editing. And that's also why this episode's late, because I stayed up making sure it was perfect. Even though it's not perfect. But it's as perfect as a first episode should be. So, let's see. Gets a trap card. If I nuke the board... but then again, you'll still get Vesiculo. Let me think about this. So, if this goes up, he gets a trap card. He can set the trap, get Vesiculo. Shoot. Okay, I'm going to allow this, actually. I'm going to allow this. I'm thinking ahead in the game here. Why would you get Delusion? My monsters are too small for that to work. Maybe he's just going to get rid of Professor Kulo. I don't know. So he's going to go for Traptrix Sarah. That's step one. Parallel Exceed's going to go off, and... we're going to allow Parallel Exceed to go off. We're going to allow that one. The Parallel Exceed goes off. That'll summon another copy of itself. So then he's going to have two of them. So then I can hit with Torrential. Deny him this back row. I can banish Fury to protect myself. And then I can negate the Sarah. Make myself bigger. So he'll still be able to make something. Alright, so he'll make Pina Colada. That's your name. We're going to make Pina Colada. And let's see. So I have no hand effects, but I can live without hand effects. More importantly, I just need to draw into any of my legendary fishermen. If I can just do that, I'm golden. So, yeah, this trap doesn't really affect me. That could be a problem if I don't do something this turn about it. Oh, shoot, he has a normal... Okay, you know, okay, good. Alright, another torrential. That does not help at all. So we're just going to summon electric jellyfish and hope for the best. We're just going to attack over Traptrix Sarah, so less stuff my opponent can have. Little less that my opponent can do. We'll set a card, end our turn, and see where this goes. Monsters owned by your opponent sent to the graveyard or banished. No, I negate you. See, I can negate this, and then my opponent will think, oh, he's safe to use Dianaya. And yeah, it's kind of safe to using Dianaya. Kind of, sort of. He is going to get out Murmello, and he's going to attack my face down, but that's all part of the plan. True, he'll be immune to aqua effects, but my big dude... Wait, what? Oh, yeah, he has no Xyz materials, so then, yeah, Pina Colada doesn't do anything. Sweet. Alrighty. All according to plan. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and tribute off the Legendary Fisherman for the third Legendary Fisherman. He is our boss monster. If my opponent had any monsters, then they would be banished. I can return to the grave and do some stuff. More importantly, I'm immune to spell traps. That's right. This doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything. I don't know what this does, but it doesn't do anything to me. So basically, until he gets more monsters, he can't do anything to the Legendary Fisherman. Because he is just immune to all spell traps. Including my own, which is a little annoying, but, you know, it's a small price to pay for ultimate power. My mask is ripping. My hold on this reality is dying. Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to see a doctor about that. Anyway, so my opponent is up a bit of a creek. You know, he's got himself a nice board. He played a fair game of Traptrix, I suppose. Unfortunately, my knowledge of this game is too high. And so, it doesn't really matter how much he does, because I am strong enough to top deck the 7th one. Hello. It is time! I summoned forth the biggest dude in all of the land. Now that, my people, is what you call a top deck. Okay, well he does have that, I suppose. Maybe just banish it. But you know what? I had to do something. You know, you don't just say no to the 7th one. You know, you draw it, you have to play it. That's the rule. Because literally after that, it doesn't do anything unless you play the whole... Like, there's a whole support line for it. But that's like, you build a whole deck around the 7th one if you're going to do that. Otherwise, you draw it, you play it. Alright. Well, at least he's smart enough not to just play, like, Traptrix Sarah or something. But my top decks are pretty good. Let's see. What do I want? What does a man want? Let's see. Add to Memphis's hand. Let's see. Let's get Doom Kraken. They get Doom Kraken out. Oh no, that would... Oh no, that's right, I used up fish. Where's that fish? Yeah, I used up my salmon. Okay, that's fine. I should have gone for somebody else, but this is okay. You know, I can save this for later. It is a quick effect anyway. So even if he does try to do something, I can Doom Kraken, bounce back my Fishman, blow up whatever he tries to make, like if he makes Utopia Lightning somehow. I can stop it. I'm still good. Slight mistake, but we're still okay. See, sometimes all you have to do is muddle through, and that's all it'll take to win the duel. You don't have to strategize everything. A little bit of brain will do you some good, but in the end of the day, if you don't know what you're doing, your opponent does not know what you're doing, and you can just take advantage of that every single time. So, what is my opponent going to do? He needs a single card. He needs like Dianaya, right? He needs Dianaya. So, oh wait, no. Gravedigger's Trap Hole stopped my Doomcracker now. I think about it. Yeah, anyway, he needs Dianaya so he can make, you know, monster, and then overlay. So that's like the only saving grace he has. So that doesn't do anything. No. Nope. All those traps will do you nothing. Nothing at all. I mean, Shade Brigandine, yeah, it'll give you a monster. It'll give him a monster, so that'll at least, you know, it'll lure him into this false sense of, I can survive a turn. That's about it. Ooh, Kuriboh. Sweet. That doesn't work on this Fisherman, but it really works on the rest of the Fisherman. So we're just going to attack our opponent directly and see where this goes. He probably won't use Shade Brigandine. But I will bait out the Shade Brigandine because there's no reason not to. Why would I let him keep this? You know, if I let him sit on it, he'll just use it as material for things. And I don't want my opponent to have material for things. I want my opponent dead. That's kind of the idea. So, one more turn. What are you going to top deck? But did you ever a 7th one yourself? I don't think you do. That would be a fancy tech for sure. Mantis. Alright. Okay, well, if he gets Mantis, and he surrenders. Okay, oh, did he run out of Arachnicomba? I think he did. I think he ran out of Arachnicomba. That's like the only thing this searches that would do him any good. Alright, well, there's a win against Traptrix. He gave it his best, but if Traptrix don't go first, they don't win that well. So, there you go. You get an idea of this deck. You just go with the fish, go with the flow of the ocean, summon out Fisherman, go for the throat. And that's what we're going to do. Let's go for duel 2. Do more of that, and hopefully next time Kuriboh will get to do a thing. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go and do it again. And this time, let's try to go a little bit more with the Fisherman bit. I mean, we've shown off the other bits. Okay, there's a Fisherman, so that's already good. We are going second, which is not ideal, but we can make do with it. We're up against Predaplants. Okay. Interesting. So we're up against Predaplants into this guy. I have not seen pure Predaplants in a while, so I don't remember like their own strategy. I know that they got like the counters, and they got the dude that's annoying when he puts counters on you. That's all I can really remember. Also, they have the thing that's like Monster Reborn once per turn. Bring back this thing, and I guess this lets you fuse or something. Okay, now. Tribute one dude for another dude. That's exactly what I was getting to. And then this is the guy that summons the other. Or no, they got the fusion spell. Ultra Poly. Okay. So yeah, we're up against the good old-fashioned Predaplants doing a fusion thing. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's the guy I was talking about. That's the annoying one. And then he can, what is it, bring back the materials, which I presume he'll use for something, considering that he can't, you know, he's not restricted in any means. No means is my opponent restricted. Therefore, he can make a link of some form. Okay, Masquerena, that makes sense. Okay, so my opponent's got quite the board. I won't deny. But I have Legendary Ocean. So now that makes it so I can summon my fish a little easier. Monster with a Predator counter leaves the field. Add a Predap card. Okay, these don't have counters. Sweet. So, the question is... Let's see, add a monster, and then... Thinking about this. Sadly, my Fisher dude is not big enough to beat over things. I could maybe Goose and just lock him out of things for a turn. Let's do that. Let's sum out the Legendary Fisherman number 2. You know, bait him into doing stupid stuff if we can help it. You know, he's got this thing, but he can't target Fisherman because I have Stealth number 2 on the board. He can't target me with non-water things. So we can bait out the Masquerena. You know, we'll bait out Masquerade. If he uses it, cool. If he doesn't, I beat it with a stick. And start the battle phase. Let's see. A monster that mentions Umi. Do I want to summon Fishin right now? Tempting. He does get destroyed at the end of the battle phase, though. But then again... Sure. Why not? Let's just bring out Fishin. That way I can do stuff with him in main phase 2, and then use him as Xyz material. Oh yes, and now he has to keep only one monster. Because Fishin's floodgate effect. Alright, well now I can't do anything to drag us up her. Unfortunate indeed. But we'll make do. We'll make do. So I just need to put this in defense mode. Alright, end of battle phase. I'm done. Okay, not a problem. So we're going to go ahead and reveal Ragna Zero, because it's also a rank 4 monster. This way, I get out my Kuriboh. He stays level 4. Okay, you're going to bait me there. That's going to be a thing, but that's okay, I suppose. So I get a Predator counter. Cool. Go for fish sonar, baby. Yeah, I got more things. Alright, so now that my opponent, he's doing his thing. Let's see. If only my Kuriboh was a water monster, but he is not. So, what do I want to add to my hand? I really wish I could add Fisherman number 3, but I am not allowed to do this. I'm gonna get... I'm gonna get a Kiryu... Yeah, I'm gonna get Fishin, because then I can start getting stuff, and then I can summon out my fish. Get myself out a nice fish. So then I can make a Baguska. Every once in a while, you just have to set a Baguska. You know, I need to beat over this thing. I can't beat over it until it's in defense mode. Not unless I was to, you know, top deck Fisherman number 3. So, now my opponent, who is largely monster effect based... Okay, that makes me feel better by going for Zeus Slayer. That I don't like. Damn it. He had Imperm and everything. What a pain. Well, shoot. Looks like all my best laid plans came to naught. That is unfortunate, because, yeah, now he gets whatever Predaplants he wants, and I'm pretty sure there's some pretty nasty ones. Well, shoot. Well, nothing you can do about that. We tried, and I still got top decks. What top deck I can do to get out of this situation is a bit questionable. But I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead. Might come back from this duel, might not. If I do, I'll see you in a minute. If I don't, I'll see y'all in Duel 3. Alrighty, third and final opponent. Sadly, I wasn't able to have the Predaplant guy. I tried. But sometimes you try and sometimes you lose. But we got ourselves one more chance at romance here. What do we have? Alright, nice to see my boy right off the bat. That's always a good start. Let's start off with Sea Stealth number 2, so I don't have to worry about Effect Veiler. And we'll start with the Electrical Jellyfish, and this does count as Umi. So, all's good there. We'll ditch a Legendary Ocean. We already technically have Umi. Don't need anything else. So we'll go for the Kiryu. Hey, yo. He is on the board. Now all I need is my Legendary Fisherman numbers 1 and or 2. That's all I really need. Then my boy comes back out. It's Traptrix all over again. We've run my opponent over. So, I also have this. Rage of Kiryu. It's basically a field nuke. For every water I have, I can destroy a monster of my opponent's. Then he can't use those zones for a turn. Pretty nasty. If I can hit my opponent at just the right time. He just needs to have like 2 monsters, and then I blow them up. And then he can't use those 2 zones for a turn. It's pretty cool. And I like it. It also makes me kind of wish that the... Well, actually, this is Kiryu. What am I talking about? I was about to say, why does Kiryu not have a retrain? He's right there. It's hard to tell because he's so much better. Okay, Allure of Darkness. I'll allow it just because I want to know what this is. Despias. Alright. Add a despia monster except for itself. Okay, I guess. Despias. That's a bit of an iffy one. Bit of an iffy one for me. I don't really care for despias that much. Not especially. Alright, Polywally. Do I allow polymerization in a fusion deck? Probably should at least attempt to stop that. Okay, so this will just let him get rid of Super Poly, cool. Yeah, so basically he's going to summon out, I guess, Albert? What's his name? I think it's Albert, something like that. The one that lets him search. Branded opening. Yep, he's going to be able to do at least something. No, what is this? Add what the heck is this? Make all monsters currently on the field gain attack into the levels. Okay, so it doesn't do much of anything. Neat. Granted, I don't have much at the moment, but luckily I am the king of top decks, and I got Warrior of Atlantis. So even though his monster is temporarily bigger, I will become bigger still. And so, yeah, let's search with Kairyu-shin. What can we get here? Let's get Sea Stealth Attack. We've been showing this thing off. You know, I can make it so when my high-level monsters battle, I can just banish my opponent's stuff. Or destroy, I can destroy them, and destroy the damage step. It's pretty nice. I can also banish them to protect stuff. It's a nice trap. I don't use it all the time, but when I do, things get really violent. Alright, so we'll destroy whatever this is. See, I know, this is a fusion deck. You stop the fusion cards, and then they can't fuse. You know? The only thing I can't stop is like the field spell, because this doesn't destroy anything. Which is good for some things, but bad for others. So we'll end our turn there. What can my opponent do? I mean, he's got the, let's see, what does he have? He's got the one thing that's big, but he needs to have a fusion to do anything with it. He does have Alibur. Add a branded spell trap. I'm gonna have to stop that. I have no choice but to stop that. I have to stop you from getting branded stuff. Like the fusion spell. No fusing for you, young man. No extra deck. I've barely used the extra deck today, and I say you don't need it. You need nothing. Also, my monster is huge. I'm just gonna keep getting bigger. I'm not sure which jellyfish gets bigger by electrocuting people, but I'm pretty sure that's a species of jellyfish. And my opponent surrenders. Unfortunate. With my top deck and skills, this was definitely Legendary Fisherman. So, unfortunately, we don't get to show that off again, but it's okay. So, let's go for the end screen. We've shown off this deck fairly well. You get the idea. Let's go for the end screen. Alright, so the Legendary Fisherman deck went 2 out of 3. Not bad at all. As you can see, when you get yourself established fairly well, then you're just going to sail that ship right back into port. Sometimes it gets tricky when your opponent can set up a nice board and interrupt your things, and, that's where you get the situation where, you're trying to control, but your opponent controls you first. It gets tricky. You have options to get out of that, obviously, but it all depends on how things go. And sometimes you can, sometimes you get out of those situations, sometimes you don't, but for the most part, this deck does what it wants to do. You summon out your fish, you get into your Fisherman, you start fishing your opponent with a harpoon, and eventually the Fisherman 3 just says, heck no to all of your opponent's stuff. So, hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to the stream that's going to be later today, and to my new show tomorrow, which is going to be great. Okay? I hope you'll enjoy it. Maybe I'll premiere it. We'll see how it goes. But for now, Memphis signing out. See y'all next time. Peace.